The Brown family has seen its fair share of chaos, but nothing, not even divorces, custody battles, or the collapse of Coyote Pass, could prepare fans for this latest scandal. At the center of it all, Kody Brown, once the self-proclaimed leader of his plural kingdom, now accused of crossing a line so shocking that even Robyn, his most loyal and unquestioning wife, finally snapped. It all began quietly at a family dinner in Robyn's house. Cameras were rolling, the crew expecting another tense but predictable exchange. But what Kody said left the room frozen in disbelief. As Aurora sat quietly at the table, Kody began ranting about how the world was too cruel, how men no longer respected women, and how Aurora needed protection from heartbreak. Then came the words no one expected. If no man is good enough for her, then maybe I should step in. Maybe the answer is simple. I could make her my spiritual wife, right here beside you, Robyn. Gasps filled the room. Aurora reportedly burst into tears. Crew members froze, unsure whether to keep filming. And for the first time in years, Robyn turned on Kody with fury. She stood up, slammed her napkin down, and shouted, "Kody, are you crazy? She's my daughter. You've lost your mind. This is not happening." For fans who have watched Robyn bend over backward to accommodate Kody's ego, this was a moment of rare defiance. Even in her private confessional, Robyn could barely hold back tears as she admitted, "Kody thinks this is protection, but it's not. It's control. It's wrong. I don't even recognize him anymore." When word of Kody's shocking proposal spread to the other wives, the reaction was brutal. Christine called it disgusting. Full stop. Janelle said Kody had crossed moral and spiritual boundaries. Even Mary, who usually keeps her distance from the chaos, admitted she no longer recognized the man she once married. And the fans? Outrage.
Rede te reais explodir.
Twitter lit up with condemnation. Petitions. When news broke that Kody had abandoned Robyn at the hospital to spend the evening with Aurora, the fallout was immediate and explosive. Doctors and nurses, who had watched Robyn weep from her hospital bed, were stunned. One nurse later admitted, she kept asking for her husband, sobbing that she didn't want to be alone. "We kept telling her he'd be back soon, but he never came." You could see the heartbreak on her face. She felt utterly abandoned. Even members of the Brown family could not remain silent. Janelle, despite years of tension with Robyn, was reportedly the first to check in, calling the hospital directly and even sending flowers to Robyn's bedside. A small act of compassion that spoke volumes. Mary, too, seemed to weigh in. On Instagram, she posted a cryptic but cutting message. "The measure of a man is how he shows up when someone needs him most." Fans instantly recognized it as a pointed jab at Kody. Christine, who has long since built a new life with her husband David Woolley, even extended an olive branch. According to insiders, she offered to sit with Robyn so she wouldn't be alone in the hospital. Robyn, however, declined the gesture, leaving many to wonder whether pride or pain was behind her refusal. And still, the question lingered in every fan's mind. Why did Kody leave? For years, speculation has swirled around Kody's obsession with Robyn and her children, often at the expense of his other wives and kids. But this time, the situation seemed darker, more unsettling. Why, in the very moment Robyn needed him most, did he walk away? Not just to clear his head, but to spend the night out with Aurora, laughing over burgers and milkshakes. For years, whispers of Kody's unusual closeness with Aurora have lingered. She was legally adopted after his marriage to Robyn, and unlike his biological children, many of whom have pulled away after years of neglect and broken promises, Aurora never questions him. One insider put it bluntly, Kody feels like Aurora is the only kid who still sees him as the head of the family. She never challenges him, never resists him. That's why he clings to her. But to leave Robyn sick and alone just to be with Aurora? Even we were shocked. Robyn's breaking point from her hospital bed, Robyn soon learned the truth. Not only was her husband gone, but he was spending that time at a diner with her daughter. According to a nurse on duty, Robyn broke down in tears. She kept asking, why isn't he here? Why is he with her? Over and over again, She begged us to check if he was coming back. The devastation on her face, it was unbearable. Another family friend revealed Robyn's whispered confession. If this is how he treats me when I'm sick, maybe I was wrong about him all along. Maybe I don't mean as much to him as I thought. The internet erupts when photos of Kody and Aurora at the diner leaked online. The outrage was immediate. Instagram and Reddit lit up with fury. Fans posted comments like, "You left your wife in the hospital to eat burgers? Shameful." Another wrote, "Aurora is not your wife. Robyn defended you for years, and this is how you repay her?" On Reddit, one viral thread summed it up best. The second Robyn needed real care, he couldn't handle it. Kody doesn't love people, he loves control. The moment real responsibility shows up, he runs. Cracks in the favorite marriage for over a decade, Robyn was viewed as Kody's chosen one, the wife who eclipsed all the others. But now, even she appears to be rethinking everything. Insiders claim Robyn has been voicing fears in private. What if I had died? Would he even care? Or would he just take Aurora to dinner and MO? Over the years, viewers have watched Kody pull away from his wives when they needed him most. Whether it was during Mary's emotional breakdown, Janelle's financial struggles, or Christine's loneliness and eventual departure. Now, it seems even Robyn, his so-called favorite, has experienced the same abandonment. One family friend summarized it bluntly. "This is who Kody is. He's great when everything's going his way. But the second someone needs him to really step up and be there, he vanishes." Even Robyn couldn't change that. As of now, Robyn remains in the hospital, but is reportedly stable and expected to make a full recovery. Kody has yet to publicly comment on the situation, though he and Aurora were seen leaving a grocery store together yesterday, laughing and carrying bags of snacks. Insiders say that when Robyn is discharged, she plans to confront Kody about his actions. One source described her as heartbroken but resolute. "She told me," the source said, "if he can't be here when I need him most, what's the point of any of this?" Only time will tell if Robyn chooses to stay in the marriage or finally follow in Christine, Janelle, and Mary's footsteps by leaving Kody for good. Fan reactions mixed, but mostly furious. In the days since the incident became public, social media has been awash with opinions, and very few are favorable to Kody. Some fans express sadness for Robyn, saying they never imagined she would experience the same neglect as the other wives. Others express frustration that it took this long for her to see Kody's true nature. Social media erupted with thousands of comments, and while the anger was aimed squarely at Kody, some voices carried an unexpected mix of sympathy and frustration. "I don't like Robyn," one fan admitted, "but no one deserves to be abandoned in a hospital. It's about time she realizes who he really is." Another added, "The wives should just start their own show without him. He's not the center anymore, they are." Aurora's role while Kody bore the brunt of the outrage, questions inevitably turned to Aurora. Fans wondered aloud, did she know her mother was hospitalized when she agreed to go out with him? A family source came to her defense. Aurora loves her mom and was very upset about what happened. But she idolizes Kody. If he calls and says, "Come pick me up," she isn't going to say no. She does whatever he asks. For many, this explanation only deepened the unease. Was Aurora caught in Kody's shadow the same way Robyn once was? A family at a crossroads. With Robyn still in recovery, Kody facing public condemnation, and the ex-wives rallying in support of the very woman who once stood against them, the Browns stand at a dangerous crossroads. Will Robyn finally confront Kody, or even leave him? Will Kody face the reality of the destruction he has caused? And perhaps the most pressing question of all, can this family ever recover from yet another betrayal? For years, Robyn Brown seemed untouchable, the chosen wife, the one Kody defended above all others. But in her moment of greatest need, he failed her spectacularly, choosing Aurora over her, abandoning his role as husband. One fan summed it up perfectly. Robyn thought she was different. Now she knows. She's just another wife Kody let down. And this time, even Robyn may not be able to forgive. the next bombshell, but if you thought the hospital scandal was shocking, what's coming next? Maybe the most explosive chapter yet. According to insiders, Janelle and Mary, two women who once suffered silently under. From the outside, the Brown family always preached unity. One family, one vision, one financial pot where everyone contributed and everyone benefited. But now, shocking revelations threaten to shatter that image forever. Behind the cameras, Janelle and Mary allege that Kody Brown wasn't just a husband. He was a manipulator. A man who, for years, convinced them to hand over their hard-earned money under the illusion of family stability. Money they now believe was siphoned off, not for the greater good, but for Kody's personal benefit and especially for Robyn. To understand how we got here, you have to rewind. From the earliest days of Sister Wives, finances were always a silent battlefield. Janelle was the workhorse, long hours, steady paychecks, holding the family afloat while Kody played patriarch. Mary, even as her marriage with Kody crumbled, still poured her earnings back into the collective pot. Christine gave her time and labor to the children, occasionally working to fill the gaps. But then Robyn entered the picture, and slowly the balance shifted. Fans noticed the new wardrobe, the expensive home, the way money seemed to orbit Robyn and her children, while the other wives quietly tightened their belts. Whispers began to circulate. The pot wasn't being divided evenly. An insider put it bluntly, "We always knew the family money wasn't equal." What no one realized was just how much Kody was secretly taking from Janelle and Mary, without their full knowledge of where it was going. For years, suspicion brewed. But the breaking point came recently. Sources say it was Janelle, sharp, practical, and always good with numbers, who first started asking questions. She wanted transparency, full accounting records of where every dollar had gone. But when she confronted Kody, his reaction was telling. He grew defensive, accused her of disloyalty, and shut down the conversation. That's when the alarms went off. Mary, long the loyal soldier even in her isolation. From the outside, the Brown family sold the world a picture of unity. One family, one vision, one shared future. They told viewers there was a single pot of money, a symbol of fairness where everyone contributed and everyone benefited. But now, that image is crumbling. Behind the scenes, Janelle and Mary have come forward with devastating claims. Kody Brown wasn't just a husband. He was a manipulator. A man who persuaded them, year after year, to hand over their hard-earned money under the promise of family stability. But stability never came. Instead, what they now believe is that Kody funneled those funds into his own desires, and most of all, into Robyn. To understand how this betrayal unfolded, we need to rewind. From the earliest days of Sister Wives, finances were never simple. Janelle became the workhorse, long hours, steady paychecks, the financial backbone of the family, while Kody played patriarch. Mary, even as her marriage to Kody collapsed, still poured her income into the collective fund. Christine gave her labor and care to the children, picking up jobs when she could. And then came Robyn. Slowly, the balance shifted. Viewers noticed the new wardrobe, the lavish home, the way money seemed to orbit around Robyn and her children while the other wives quietly cut corners. Whispers started to grow louder. The money wasn't being shared equally. But what no one realized was just how much Kody was allegedly taking from Janelle and Mary, and how little transparency there truly was. It was Janelle, sharp with numbers and unwilling to be deceived, who finally demanded answers. She wanted receipts, a full accounting of where every dollar had gone. But when she confronted Kody, his reaction exposed everything. He grew defensive, accused her of betrayal, and shut down the conversation completely. That moment was the spark. Mary, long the loyal soldier despite years of neglect, began to reflect on her own history. Decades of contributions. Thousands upon, though,